And the Lord spake to Moses and said, Speak thou to the sons of Israel, and thou shalt say to them, These be the fairs, that is, holidays or holy days of the Lord, which ye shall call holy. 6 days ye shall do work, the 7th day shall be called holy, for it is the rest of the Sabbath. Ye shall not do any work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwelling places. These be the holy fairs, either solemnities of the Lord, which ye ought to hallow in their times. In the 1st month, in the 14th day of the month, at eventide, is Pasch of the Lord. And in the 15th day of this month is the solemnity of thirf loaves of the Lord. 7 days ye shall eat thirf loaves. The 1st day shall be most solemn and holy to you. Ye shall not do any servile work therein, but ye shall offer sacrifice and fire to the Lord 7 days. Sithly, the 7th day shall be more solemn and holier, and ye shall not do any servile work therein. And the Lord spake to Moses and said, Speak thou to the sons of Israel, and thou shalt say to them, When ye have entered into the land which I shall give to you, and have reaped corn, ye shall bear handfuls of ears of corns, the first fruits of your ripe corn, to the priest. And the priest shall raise up a bundle before the Lord, that it be acceptable for you, in the t'other day of the Sabbath, that is of Pasch. And the priest shall hallow that bundle. And the same day, wherein the handful is hallowed, a lamb of 1 year without wem shall be slain into burnt sacrifice of the Lord, and flowing offerings shall be offered therewith, 2/10 parts of wheat flour sprinkled all together with oil, into incense of the Lord, and sweetest odor, and flowing offerings of wine, the 4th part of hin. Ye shall not eat a loaf, neither cake, nor pottage of the corn, till to the day in which ye shall offer thereof to your God. It is a behest everlasting in your generations, and in all your dwelling places. Therefore ye shall number from the t'other day of the Sabbath, in which ye offered handfuls of the first fruits 7 fruitful weeks, till to the t'other day of filling of the 7th week, that is 50 days. And so ye shall offer new sacrifice to the Lord. Of all your dwelling places, 2 loaves of the first fruits, of 2/10 parts flour, dighted with sourdough, which loaves ye shall bake into the first fruits of the Lord, to the Lord. And ye shall offer with the loaves 7 lambs of 1 year without wem, and 1 calf of the drove, and 2 rams, and these shall be in burnt sacrifice, with their flowing offerings, into the sweetest odor to the Lord. Ye shall make also a goat buck for sin, 2 lambs of 1 year, sacrifices of peaceable things. And when the priest hath raised those with the loaves of first fruits before the Lord, those shall fall into the priest's use. And ye shall call this day most solemn and most holy. Ye shall not do therein any servile work. It shall be a lawful thing everlasting in all your dwellings and generations. Forsooth, after that ye have reaped the corn of your land, ye shall not cut till to the ground, neither ye shall gather the ears of corn that abide, but ye shall leave those to poor men and pilgrims. I am the Lord your God. And the Lord spake to Moses and said, Speak thou to the sons of Israel, in the 7th month, in the 1st day of the month, shall be Sabbath, a memorial to you, sounding with trumps, and it shall be called holy. Ye shall not do any servile work therein, and ye shall offer burnt sacrifice to the Lord. And the Lord spake to Moses and said, In the 10th day of this 7th month, the day of cleansings shall be most solemn, and it shall be called holy. And ye shall torment your souls to God, and ye shall offer burnt sacrifice to the Lord. Ye shall not do any work in the time of this day, for it is the day of cleansing, that your Lord God be merciful to you. Each man which is not tormented in this day shall perish from his peoples. And I shall do away from his people that man that doeth anything of work in that day. Therefore ye shall not do anything of work in that day. It shall be a lawful thing everlasting to you in all generations and dwellings. It is the Sabbath of resting. Ye shall therein torment your souls from the 9th day of the month, from the eventide till to eventide. Ye shall hallow your Sabbaths. And the Lord spake to Moses and said, Speak thou to the sons of Israel. From the 15th day of this 7th month shall be the fairs of tabernacles, in 7 days to the Lord. The 1st day shall be called most solemn and most holy. Ye shall not do any servile work therein. In 7 days ye shall offer burnt sacrifices to the Lord, and the 8th day shall be most solemn and most holy. And ye shall offer burnt sacrifice to the Lord, for it is the day of company and of gathering. Ye shall not do any servile work therein. These be the fairs of the Lord, which ye shall call solemn and most holy, and in them ye shall offer offerings to the Lord, burnt sacrifices and flowing offerings, by the custom of each day, besides the Sabbaths of the Lord and your gifts, and that ye offer by vows, either that ye give by free will to the Lord. Therefore, from the 15th day of the 7th month, when ye have gathered all the fruits of your land, ye shall hallow the fairs of the Lord 7 days. And the 1st day and the 8th day shall be the Sabbath, that is rest. And ye shall take to you in the 1st day fruits of the fairest trees, and branches of palm trees, and the branches of a thick boughed tree, and sallows of the running stream. And ye shall be glad before your Lord God. And ye shall hallow his solemnity 7 days in the year. It shall be a lawful thing everlasting in your generations. In the 7th month ye shall hallow the feast days. Ye shall dwell in shadowing places 7 days. Each man that is of the kin of Israel shall dwell in tabernacles, that your aftercomers learn that I made the sons of Israel to dwell in tabernacles, when I led them out of the land of Egypt. I am your Lord God. And Moses spake of the solemnities of the Lord to the sons of Israel.